We have the, sorry, we're getting some help here. We have Stephanie Pearl McPhee's 1-row hand spun scarf in the worsted weight of this yarn. It's kind of funny. We haven't actually finished this scarf. It's still on the needles. It's been on the needles for 2 years. But this scarf has actually sold more projects than any other sample I have. It's a great 1-row pattern that anybody can, you know, it's easy, but you have to pay a little bit of attention so it's not completely boring. It stays flat, nicely unisex. It's just a great pattern. Last up on the knitting projects, we also have some crochet projects, but the last up on the knitting projects for this is Stephanie Nicole Bennett's boyfriend hat. This hat was originally designed for worsted weight yarn, but we've discovered that if you knit it with like 70 or 80 cast on stitches, it makes for a good chunky weight pattern. The other modification we make is length. We try to make it longer. The original was meant to like just barely cover the top of the ears of the wearer, and that we have weather around here that makes you want a slightly better hat, so we make it longer. It's a really great hat pattern for lots of weights, and you just need a multiple of 10 stitches, and you can see that it kind of just comes along the top and decreases nicely. Okay, I'm being told to talk about the Joji Locatelli's Paris in Berlin again. So this is Joji's Paris and Berlin cowl. 1 skein variegated yarn works really, really well because you pull it up against other rows, and so it really shows off the variegation. Hopefully that's sufficient. And like I said, the pattern, all of the pattern names, etc., are in our Google Doc. So if you need a pattern name or a pattern link, they're in our Google document. We also have this beautiful unfurled beauty, which is a crocheted shawl, again 2 colors. I'm not actually entirely sure what the black is in this because this is a worsted weight. So Unfurled Beauty by Lorene Haythorne Eppolite. Again, the pattern is in the links. And we have a simple crocheted hat, no pattern. I love this one because it actually, it's like uses the size of the crochet stitches to define the top of the hat. So we've got like triple crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and then just a cute little shell edging at the bottom. So that's all Neighborhood Fiber Company, Fireworks Over Pittsburgh. We love it. We hope you will too. Again, reminder, Fireworks Over Pittsburgh is our passcode. Make sure you use plural fireworks. Capitalization doesn't matter. And I don't know what you're saying to entertain Jess, but she's over there giggling. So go team, good job. So let's do a quick prize break here. We're going to spin a random number generator and pick a Zoom participant, and you will win, the Zoom participant will win this skein of sheep graffiti in Virginia Beach colorway. I don't know if you saw her presentation the other day, but she owns the yarn shop in Virginia Beach. This yarn is You Feel Good, which is 85% really fine merino and 15% cultivated silk. It's approximately 215 yards, gauge 4 to 5 stitches. So we're at the edge, probably considered a worsted, hand wash, dry flat, gorgeous color. So I'm going to tell you who wins in a moment. Okay, I'll know the name in a minute. 25. But these the winner, I need you to email me at yarns@mcwalker.us, yarns@mcwalker.us, with your name, tell me you won, and give me your address. And it's just Susan on here. Let me see.
She has a Susan, capital S.
Susan with a capital S. I can't tell how to tell you, but comment and tell us that
She
you're.
says it's me. It must be. She says Susan.
It looks like that is you. Yes, Susan, that looks like you. So email me at yarns@mcwalker.us, and we will get you that skein of yarn. Okay, so that's, oddly, I've done weird things to my screen for that. Next up, we have another exclusive colorway. This one is called Midnight in Millvale. And like I said, the little town we are in is called Millvale. And this yarn is called Midnight in Millvale. We have different dye lots. You can really see them on that camera. We have the Vesper sock, which is a superwash merino, 80% and 20% nylon. And this one is her glitterful sock, which is 75% superwash wool, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. This is another self-striping yarn. Actually, I guess it's our first self-striping yarn. You're going to discover that we really like self-striping yarns. We also really like sparkly yarns. So both of those things show up a lot. Now, some people ask why we like self-striping yarns. I'll say it's twofold. One of it is that we feel like they knit more quickly, like you're working on a pair of socks in self-striping and you think, ooh, I'm just gonna finish this stripe, or, oh, I'm gonna wait until the next blue stripe before you finish. And so you finish more quickly. And part of it is, particularly in these pandemic times, I can make a project look like it's a lot more work than it was because I use self-striping yarns. And my brain in these pandemic times doesn't want to do things that are more complicated. Anyway, so we have two knit projects in this and one crocheted project in this. And the first knit project is the Fruit Stripe Gum Sock by Leah Oakley. It's got this swirled rib pattern that makes the stripes look like diamonds. And it's just a really cool way to use any self-striping yarn, but particularly love it in the Midnight in Millvale. We also have beautiful sockhead slouch hat. This one isn't as slouchy as some. The pattern is by Kelly McClure, sockhead slouch hat. And it is another great way to show off sock yarns when you're feeling like, oh, let me bring it a little closer so you can see better color. When you're feeling like you really don't want to knit another pair of socks, although, you know, why? You feel like you don't want to knit another pair of socks, but we love socks here. But this is the sockhead slouch hat. Great, great hat. And then we have another unfurled beauty shawl, crocheted. This one mixes the Midnight in Millvale with a Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock, which is another shop favorite. And actually, Ruth, could you hand me the Taroni shawl there? This one? Yeah, I just realized that I forgot to grab one that I wanted to show you. It's not in Midnight in Millvale. The Taroni shawl here is a free pattern on Ravelry. And this one is knit in a different Knitterly Things colorway. This one's called Rainbow Revolution. This is another shop favorite. We have this in both plain and the glitterful, the sparkly sock. It's a great free pattern, easy, and again, just sort of shows you the stripes do the work and you don't. So another favorite, and it works up really well in the Midnight and Millvale and in all the other colors. We have a variety of colors of the Knitterly Things Vesper sock that are available that you could use for that. Okay, I think we should pick another prize. And my prize person is just knocking things everywhere. It's all good. So we're gonna spin a random number generator again and pick a prize. I love this one. I almost didn't give it to you guys because it's just like, can't I just keep it? But I don't think that's what she wanted. This is Apple Fiber Studio in the exclusive colorway that she made for us called Ball Fall Crawl. And it is in her opal, which is a worsted weight, US 6 to 8. It's 100% superwash merino, 181 yards in 100 grams. I think this is beautiful, and this is going to go to, we're almost there. Toroni, T-O-R-O-N-I.
Happy Peridot Zebra.
Happy Peridot Zebra. This one's going to go to Happy Peridot Zebra.
I'm keeping track of
And again, if you once we find out who you are, if you email me, there you go.
Yeah.
That is you. If you email me at yarns@mcwalker.us and claim, tell me that you won and give me a mailing address that I can send it to. The yarn for the Toroni shawl was again a Vesper sock. This one was called Rainbow Revolution. We have that in both her Vesper sock and the Vesper sock glitterful. Okay, quick reminder that our passcode today is Fireworks over Pittsburgh. Okay, so next up is our exclusive colorway, our newest exclusive colorway, which we released on September 12th for local yarn shop day. So it's brand new. This one, and we're going to switch cameras again. This one is called Grant Avenue. Grant Avenue is a Fiber Nymph Dye Works yarn. Grant, we are located on Grant Avenue. I'm gonna take half a moment and see if I can just make that, instead of making it worse, make it slightly better. There we go. We agree, Fiber Nymph makes gorgeous colors. This colorway was designed, she looked up and down our street, and these are the colors of our street, which we love. So the yarn comes, so I've also been told that it looks a little like Sesame Street and a different person, sort of a Southwestern feel. Whatever it is, we love it. It looks like Millvale to us. We have this in Cozy Worsted, which is 100% superwash merino, 220 yards. We have it in the Bounce Fingering, which is her superwash nylon, 80-20 merino nylon blend, 400 yards fingering. And because we love our sparkles, we have it in her bedazzled base, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. This one has 438 yards in a skein. We haven't had this yarn for long, so we haven't had a really good chance to make a lot of samples, but we have a couple. So we have this is a toddler hat with the toddler. I always put little pigtails on my toddler hats because toddlers pull pom-poms apart. This is the toddler hat, and then we also have matching Tin Can Knits World's Simplest Mittens in the toddler size. Uh, the instructions, by the way, for the topper on the hat are in the Google Doc. So that's available. And then I have to actually look at the word for the next pattern because I'm already not terribly sure how to say it, and I sure as heck don't want to not be looking at it. It's Namaqualand, I think, shawl by Deirdre Uys, something like that. I apologize for mutilating her name. This is a crocheted shawl knit in the new Grant Avenue yarn. I think it looks gorgeous with this self-striping yarn. Really reminiscent. This is where I think the Southwestern comes up. It just looks very Southwestern, although I'm told that the shawl was designed after a trip to South Africa. But that is our new Fiber Nymph Grant Avenue colorway. We have a variety of other Fiber Nymph, so we're going to stay in Fiber Nymph for a while. She used to live here in Pittsburgh, and now she lives less than an hour away. We love Lisa. She's fabulous. She's great for our yarn community. Ruth, while you're doing that, could you grab that sweater from the top shelf over there? No hurry. Yeah. Anyway, so the next yarn we have is, as I said, is another Fiber Nymph. And I'm going to switch over to the other camera so that you can see it better. This one is called my McWalker Yarns, Love Your LYS 2019. And it was our local yarn shop day 2019 colorway. It's based on the colors in our logo. And it comes in her cozy. It comes in her cozy, which is a worsted weight, 100% superwash merino, 220 yards. We have that in the Grant Avenue. Bonafide, which is a DK weight, 231 yards, 100% superwash merino. The Bounce, 80/20 superwash merino nylon, and the Bedazzled, 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. So that's our sparkly, because as I said, we love us some sparklies. Anyway, yeah, the purple stripes are awesome. And let me show you a couple projects in that. So we have this sweater, which was knit in one skein of the worsted with a little bit of gray leftover yarn from something else that finished the crochet edging at the neck and the ends of the sleeves. But it's a small baby sweater. Unfortunately, so I knit this when they thought that my grandchild to be was going to be a girl, and then a couple weeks before he was born we found out it was a boy, and this was a little over the top girly for his mom. So I didn't plan on it being a shop sample, but it is a shop sample. And if you're going to make it, the closest thing we have is the Tulips, a colorful cardigan, to say that that's a pretty good way to figure out how to make that sweater, even though that's not actually the pattern I followed. The other sample we have in that yarn, and I think this one is gorgeous, is this center fan scarf. This is another crocheted scarf. This is from the One Skein Wonders crochet book and is, as advertised, a one skein project. This one was done in the DK weight of the McWalker Yarns Love Your LYS 2019. And then I also have, just showing off the stripes that it makes and how pretty the little speckly stripe is, just a basic crocheted hat in the Love Your LYS 2020. Okay, so that's it for Fiber Nymph exclusive colorways. But we love her so much that I thought you guys would want to see a little bit more of her yarn, even though they're not exclusive colorways. So next up, I don't think I'm going to bother with the document camera. But next up is Here We Go, which is, I mean, Here We Go is the fight call for the Steelers. But for those of you who don't know, Pittsburgh is a city with a color theme. Black and gold is not just the Steelers. Black and gold is the Pirates. Black and gold is the Penguins. And all of our bridges, I pointed this out in the opening, all of our bridges are gold. And frankly, 50 years ago, the city was black from the industry. It's not that, it isn't true anymore, but black and gold makes sense for Pittsburgh. Anyway, so we have the Here We Go, which are self-striping colorways. We have that in her worsted, the 100% wool worsted, the merino nylon bounce, and the sparkly fingering weight as well. We have, I wanted to show you guys some Christmas colors. You can look on the website under Fiber Nymph to see, but we have a variety of Christmas colors and more coming in soon of her self-stripings, because I think her Christmas colors are fabulous for making Christmas socks, but also for making Christmas hats and Christmas mitts. Nice and easy, not a lot of work, really. Can you show the one with white? Yes. So, okay, I'm being told I need to show it under the camera. So let me get it under the camera. There we go. So this one is her Home for Christmas, and we have it in both sparkly and not sparkly. And I believe, I'm pretty sure we're going to have it in worsted in a week or two. I made a couple kids' Christmas hats out of the worsted last year that came out really well. But there's the one with the white. And okay. And then we have just a little bit of this, but I love it, so we'll show it. I'm going to just leave it under here, under the document camera. This is Lisa's, it was her anniversary colorway this year. She said she wasn't going to dye it again, but she did for us. It is 9 customer favorite colors. And then I'm going to switch back to my regular camera and say, this is another grandchild hat. It looks very similar to the other grandchild hat. 2 grandchildren, 2 very similar hats, but they're the 9 colors. I just think it's a beautiful range of color that she's put together here. Fun, different. And we have it again in the worsted and the bounce. I think we might have sold out of the with sparkle. For that, if people were interested, we could reorder, but it would take time. Okay, and last thing on Fiber Nymph, and then we'll get to more prizes because I know people are looking for that. We have the inversibles. And so Lisa dyes, and we'll look at a bunch of different ones more closely, but she dyes yarn. We have the bedazzled, the sparkly, regular, and we have her new mountain tweed colors in pairs. The curls on the hat are knitted, to go back to the current question. The inversibles are dyed in pairs, and they knit or crochet, whatever, in matching mismatched stripes. So they're all 2 color, and one will be blue with, in this instance, blue with white stripes. One will be white with blue stripes. These socks are vanilla is the new black, in case anybody wants to know about the actual socks as opposed to the yarn. Okay, so I said we have the inversibles in a variety of bases. This is a small selection of our sparkly, the bedazzled bases. So bedazzled is 438 yards in a skein, and so the when split into two, it's two 219-yard skeins. Like I said, you can find a full selection of these on our website. We also have some in her bounce base, which is the one without sparkle. This one is 400 yards in a full-size skein, so 200 yards each skein. And then we newly have just a couple colors right now, but her new Mountain Tweed yarn in the inversibles. And so the Mountain Tweed is 85% superwash BFL, for those of you like me who like a breed specific wool, maybe not merino sometimes. And then 15% nylon, including the neps, and it comes in two 219-yard skeins like the bedazzled. Okay, so that's our fiber nymph, and I think it's time to give out another prize. Okay, so the next prize is a set of Brooklyn Tweed knit patterns. And this again will go to the person chosen on via random number generator, and Ruth's working on it. And I'll get to you here in a minute. We're counting, hang on. Almost there. Denise Caballero. Denise, you won the Brooklyn Tweed pattern set. There are five patterns in here. It's a really nice set of patterns. There's one that I've paid for myself, and I don't carry Brooklyn Tweed, but there's one that I've paid for myself in here. It's lovely stuff. Denise, if you email me again at yarns@mcwalker.us and let me know how to send something to you, we will get it to you before too much longer, hopefully very, very soon. Quick reminder while I'm here, our passcode, Fireworks Over Pittsburgh. There's Denise. Congratulations, Denise. Okay, so now those of you who've been on for very many of these this virtual crawl, the Have a Ball Fall crawls things, have probably noticed that quite a number of us have sock blanks from Yarn Over New York, Jessie at Yarn Over New York. We are not an exception. We have right now in stock these black and gold Pittsburgh Skyline sock blanks. Currently we have them in DK weight and in double stranded fingering weight. But we also, okay, what is a sock blank? So a sock blank is a machine knitted, usually to the length of yarn. So it's like having a skein of yarn, but instead of having a skein of yarn, you have a pretty picture or a pretty set of colors. And we're going to do a different kind of sock blank here in a minute. So you'll see a couple different samples, but we have the Pittsburgh sock blank in black and gold. Jessie is working on for us right now, and in a week or so we'll have for us ones that have a blue sky and rainbow over Pittsburgh, but the Pittsburgh skyline, and also ones that will have a night sky and fireworks over Pittsburgh. So we'll do another fireworks over Pittsburgh. And the new sock blanks will be either single stranded fingering or regular fingering sock yarn, 80-20, whatever, or one with stellina in it, a sparkle Pittsburgh skyline. So we're really looking forward to those. And there is a pre-order for those up on our website. So if you're interested in those, you could do that now. Well, now, before we get them in, or you can just watch and we'll have them in shortly. The other sock blank we got in was her Dusk Rainbow. This is a Dusk Rainbow sock blank. We have double-stranded and single-stranded fingering. For those of you who don't know about sock blanks, the double-stranded sock blank will produce two identical cakes of yarn. So if you wanted to make two very matchy socks, you could do that out of the sock blank. That is a double-stranded sock blank. Anyway, we have both the double-stranded and the single-stranded. We have not made socks out of it, but we have made this fabulous cowl shawl thing. This is called Breaking Plaid. And this one was knit from a double-stranded sock blank, and you can tell because of the repeating colors. And it's a triangular shawl shape, but this one's been sewn together at the points. And it just makes a really nice cowl. And we just think it's gorgeous. It's double knit, which means that it's completely reversible, but it's also it's also a little fiddly to get started. But once you get started, you'll get the hang of it, and it's easy. Anyway, so that is Yarn Over New York, and I think it's time for another prize. My prize fairy over here is less convinced, but she's going to generate a random number for us and pick a person, and this person is going to win the Noro book, Knit 40 Fabulous Designs, donated to us by Knitting Fever. This book is knit, obviously not crochet, so hopefully we find a knitter.
Dorothy Brown.
And Dorothy Brown is the winner of our Noro book. So congratulations, Dorothy. I hope you enjoy. Okay. Next up, we have Mary Martin's True Colors scarf. I love this scarf. I love, love, love this scarf. Okay. So this is a completely reversible scarf, and it stays in rainbow order. So, you know, Roy G. Biv, right? It stays in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet on each side of the shawl, on each side of the scarf, by reversing what's on the other side. So the reverse side of the red stripe on one side is the purple stripe on the other, etc. And it just makes this gorgeous, fluffy, flat shawl, or scarf, sorry.
Can you show the secret phrase again? Somebody missed it.
Okay, we'll keep, yeah, we'll get it. The scarf is made from this Anzula Squishy color wheel. This is squishy, if you've not used it. Squishy is a very apt term. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. The color wheel includes 6 50-gram skeins. They're each 153 meters, 167 yards. There we go. And one 25-gram skein of, this is petunia. So it makes a lovely rainbow. The set will make the scarf. It's a big, heavy, warm scarf because it's got a garter stitch base with the little bit of double knitting for the stripes. Mary W. Martin, who created the scarf, joined our knit along earlier this year, and we really just had a blast. So that I wanted to make sure we talked about that project because we really loved it. And then, okay, I'm going to do it. Mostly we've focused on small indie dyed yarns because I think that's what makes us special, right? What do we have that you don't have at your local shop? But we have a couple things in more commercial yarns that we really love right now for different reasons, and I wanted to show them to you. So this one, let me take the shawl cuff off it, is called Plaid Please, coming after the breaking plaid. Apparently we have a plaid problem. This one is called Plaid Please. It is a nice big wrap in Ito's mohair, which is called Sensei. I'll turn on the document camera and we'll look at the actual yarn. And that's the yarn, and just a slightly closer up of the plaid because it's just beautiful. That's the scarf pattern. It's gorgeous, it's easy-ish, it's fun, and the feel is amazing. So we wanted to share that with you. And we have, okay, on the Plaid Please, we have a couple, we have probably 2 in that colorway and some other Ito yarn on our website, but we also have a pre-order. If you wanted to order that exact scarf, you can order it and we'll get it to you within a couple weeks usually. So that's available to you. I'm again going to just remind everybody what our email address is, yarns@mcwalker.us, and our passcode is Fireworks over Pittsburgh. And I'm going to have Ruth pick another prize winner. And the next prize is Blue Sky Fibers sent a skein. Well, and I've managed to dump the hat pattern out, but a skein of wool stock and this cute little project bag. Lynette Alber has won the hat pattern and yarn from Blue Sky Fibers. So Lynette Alber, email us at yarns@mcwalker.us and let us know an address to mail it to you, and we will get that out in the mail for you. Okay, another pattern, a couple more prizes. This will be fun. So the next pattern, and this one is we have a crochet version of this, but I don't have it here at the shop to show you. But we have this shawl, is called City of Champions shawl. It's kind of an ode to Pittsburgh. Sorry, we're very Pittsburgh here. This is, it has 5 stripes for the historic Pirates wins, 5 stripes for the historic Penguins wins, 6 stripes for the historic Steelers wins. The eyelet rows are meant to evoke the bridges. So we have the Three Sisters bridges from downtown down at the bottom. This pattern is free with, we'll send you the pattern free with the purchase of the yarn. The yarn is Loom Fusilli. And I'm gonna flop over to the other camera. And the Loom Fusilli is, you need 2 in mustard and 1 in smoke. You can cut it off a little early and you'll be fine with 1 mustard. And you might be fine with another. It's with just 1 anyway. It is a thick and thin yarn sold by weight. And so sometimes there's not quite enough and sometimes there's plenty. Well, or sometimes there's just barely enough and sometimes there's not quite enough. Fusilli is a silk yarn, and it's got some raw silk edges to it, right? So we've got some very lightly dyed and not so lightly dyed pieces to it. Anyway, and we also have some other colors. The pattern will come free whether you buy the Steelers colors or not. Okay. So, next prize. This prize is a shop exclusive prize. So we make masks. And I'm looking for mine because mine, I can put mine on. We make masks. We make masks that are, they fit really well. They have stretchy ties. Once you have it on, they are easy to pull off and pull back on. They don't go over your ears, so you don't have to you don't have to have your ears suffer from the mask. And on the inside are things that I'm not going to really say on this in this format, but they're called secret swear masks. And on the inside, they say things that many of us are thinking during these times.
Somebody just with the initial B.
Okay, and so somebody is on there right now with just the initial B as the only thing they have as their Zoom name. And you've won a secret swear mask. You have to email us, tell me, and we're going to have to pick, go on our website. That is you, B, that is going to be you. Yes, that might be me, that's got to be you. Pick, tell me what size you want. Like we make them, we make other masks from toddler up through extra large adult. I won't make the secret swear masks smaller than a teen, and the only reason I make them in teen is because some adult women wear a teen. But we'll make it in the size you want. You can give me a color family, and you can order this on our website. Just go out on the website and you can order the secret swear masks. There can be a slight delay depending on how many you order because it's a 1 or 2 person shop. So we'll get it taken care of. But anyway, so B, you won. Email me at yarns@mcwalker.us and let me know details about you and what you want, and we'll get that taken care of. I'm about to start the sponsor video, but I want to remind everybody our passcode is Fireworks Over Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to start the sponsor video. Be well. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much. And where did it go? Okay, hang on. I've lost it. Let's see. So here, I haven't been paying attention over here, and now apparently I don't remember how to do this. Let's see. Here we go. Share and
good.
All righty.
Sunny, are you taking it?
I am. I'm grabbing it. Okay, so I'm gonna mute everybody right now, and then I'm also going to turn off everybody's video. So we're just asking everybody to not have their video on today unless you are a shop owner. Let's see. Let me make sure that I'm. Yeah. So if everybody can turn off your video. It's not letting me do that. And then I'm looking for Heather at Yarn Patch. I see you.
And
Okay.
you've got her husband here in the back. And do we see
Okay.
her? So we have two computers set up. And so do you see her on the iPhone? I see. There she
I
is.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So which one do you want me to spotlight?
That's the one that will have the audio. Okay.
Okay, so let me spotlight that video, and I'm going to unmute you. Okay, so we've got you. And then Amy, if you can still hear me, if you can stop recording, and then I'm going to ask Yarn Patch to start recording once. See, let me make sure. I'm still the host, so you won't be able to.
So you're still the host.
Yeah, until I make you the host, you won't be able to record.
Okay,
So,
and so can you make this camera the host so I can sort of share a few images in that?
yes, and where are
Spotlight.
you? Let's see.
I'm a black mark. I can be it.
What's the name of your?
It says Yarn.
Oh, there you are.
There are me.
I
There's
do.
me.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make you the host, and then I will mute myself.
And so the audio should be coming. So Sunny, stay with us for a second just to make sure. Are you getting audio off of Heather? Heather, say hello.
I muted myself because you were not muted.
Okay, but no, you need to unmute yourself now.
You can hear me now, right? All right, everyone, thank you for coming to the Yarn Patch.
So, okay, I'm going to interrupt. Sorry, because we cannot hear you. It's really quiet. So I don't know if it's a microphone issue, but it's really, even though you're unmuted, it's really quiet. So let's see. Go ahead and try again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's really quiet. Let's see.
Well, there's no way for me to change the volume, right, for you guys. Is that making it better or different? So my camera can be different.
Can we see you and then talk like this? How's that? Too tight? Try that.
Can you hear me now?
It's still pretty quiet. Let me see. You should be able to. There is a way to adjust your microphone on your computer, but I don't know if I can tell you how to do that.
Yeah,
we can hear the other one really well. It's really clear, but yours is pretty quiet.
Oh, can you hear me now? I had it on mute. All right. That'll do it. There's like 2 mute buttons, apparently. All right, so welcome to the Yarn Patch. We're located in Crossville, Tennessee. I invited Emily Hines. She's a designer, and she's also doing some classes for us. So I wanted to highlight some of her patterns, and I wanted to have her talk about the classes coming up. She's got 2 coming up on October 3rd. I'm gonna actually be a risk taker here.
I'll step back from you. So I think it's going to be easier for everybody if I'm not yelling through a mask. So I'm Emily Hines. I live here in Crossville. I've been designing and teaching and knitting for cumulatively about 13 years now. And it's been such a privilege to be involved in the Yarn Patch since Heather's taken over. Coming up, I've got 2 classes on October 3rd. I'm going to be teaching shadow knitting, which is a favorite technique of mine and absolutely perfect for the holidays. And I'm also teaching a class on my biggest pattern to date, Bombogenesis. I'm going to go ahead and model it. So Bombogenesis is an asymmetrical triangle shawl. It's very generously sized. It uses every bit of 2 skeins of fingering weight, and almost it goes into the third just a little bit. So I do strongly recommend you get 3 skeins for this. It starts down at the narrowest point and just runs through a huge variety of textures before the end of the shawl, which makes it really fun and keeps it from ever being a boring knit. This was my big COVID project. I worked on this all summer long, got it out just about before the beginning of July, right around there. And this has been such a joy to first to publish and share with so many new knitters, and now to teach a class on. Should I tell the story?
Sure, go ahead. But I do want to say the pattern is available on our webpage, yarnpatch.com. And also on our webpage, there's a button for classes and events, and you can sign up for the Zoom classes. We're doing all our classes right now by Zoom, so you can participate anywhere in the world. So check it out, and if you like what you see, we have it available at yarnpatch.com.
Thank you so much for catching me on that, Heather.
We have a question about the skill level.
The skill level, that's a great question. So I would say the skill level on Bombogenesis is intermediate. The stitch patterns range for everything from really, really simple knit purl stitch patterns up to there's a little bit of brioche involved. There's a little bit of beaded quilt stitch at one point. The good news is all of these sections are small and appropriate opportunities to learn these new techniques. So I wouldn't say this is a pattern where you have to be familiar with all of the techniques beforehand in order to knit it. It's actually a really great learning pattern. And if you are still unsure whether this is something that's going to be appropriate for your skill level now, take the class, up your skill level. That's what classes are for. Wow. We just rotated like an 80s music video. That was awesome. Okay.
By special
Is it
request.
gonna work on
Now it's
Facebook,
crooked,
though?
so we're gonna go check. But someone in the audience said, please do this.
Have a
Okay.
ball
Which we
yarn
tried.
ball brought to you by technology.
We get creative. It's the year of creative problem
Yes.
solving.
You were going to tell the story.
Yes, I was. Thank you. So this pattern is